A lot of people deny the fact that they need God so they don't go to heaven. But what happens to people who don't even know that God exists? Do they go to heaven or hell?
Okay, yeah. So what do we do about those who've never heard, essentially, right? There's a passage in Acts 17, and it says simply this: "The God who made the world and everything in it is the Lord of heaven and earth. And he does not live in temples built by hands, for he is not served by human hands as if he needed anything. For he himself gives all men life and breath and everything else. From one man he made every nation of man that they should inhabit the whole earth. And he determined the times set for them and the exact places where they should live. God did this so that men would seek him and perhaps reach out for him and find him, though he's not far from each one of us." The message that I see in the Bible is a message of a God who's done everything he can to make himself so revealing to us, but not so much that he is forced upon us. So much so that he determines the times set for us, so the time that you're born and the place that you will live, because that is the best place that you will reach him and you will seek him, reach him, and find him. I don't believe that there are people out there who will ever stand before God and say, "God, I never knew." I think there'll be people out there that'll say, "Oh man, I should have listened, or I shouldn't have ignored it, or I should have softened my heart." But the message of Jesus, or the message of the Bible, is that God comes to us. He couldn't come any closer to us and to make himself so clearly known by giving us evidence, by giving us miracles, by having Christians speak to people. So he is reaching out in so many ways. And really what happens is the hardness of man's heart that says, "I don't want him." It is the hardness of man's heart that says, "I want the lie." It's the hardness of man's heart that says, "I want there to be another way." And you will find stories of people who live out in crazy parts of the world, far away from any form of civilization. They may not ever hold a Bible, but God reveals himself to them even in those times. So I would say, I don't think that there are people who have never heard. I'm not saying that they're necessarily going to get the whole book of John placed in their hand. I think what we see is God revealing himself to us in a way that we can grab a hold of him and understand him. And I think this is what you see with a lot of the Muslim converts, is this is why God reveals himself to them in dreams. Because revelation is such a big deal and is a way that they understand Allah. So here you have God who's revealing himself in their language, in a sense. It's a beautiful picture. Reaching people in the way that they would understand him so that they, in turn, will serve him. So thank you for that question.